the cuff, but we're going to start with some bad news. Let's get the bad news out of the way first.
Yeah.
Former Detroit Lion, Joshua Reynolds, man. Heart goes out to this dude. What a wild story. So I'm going to read this story because it is wild. To me, this has like, I don't know. There's, let me just read it. I'll let you guys make up your own minds, obviously, but
So the whole story came out?
This thing sounds weird, but Joshua was shot twice at a Denver strip club. I believe it was a Denver strip club. We're going to find out here when we read the article. Shot in the back of the head and in the back of the arm. I'm not sure of his total condition right now, but let's read this. So this article is from yesterday, just about 16 hours ago or so. So Denver Broncos wide receiver Josh Reynolds and another man were injured in a shooting early Friday morning. It was like 2:45 a.m. They were leaving the strip club in Denver, and they were followed from the strip club. Now, shortly after 3 a.m. on October 18, someone called 911 about a shooting near East Hampton Avenue and South Dahlia Street. The caller reported that he was driving a blue Ford Bronco and said that he had been shot, according to court documents obtained by 9 News. The document says the call taker noted the caller stopped responding, and it sounded like they were running. A second 911 caller said that he had been followed, and that 2 of his friends had been shot.
Holy.
And then the court documents also, mentioned that as well. But the caller said that the caller was also running and said that he needed an ambulance. And a third caller said that they had been shot at. Well, didn't actually take a bullet. So three, Josh Reynolds and 2 of his friends shot and were followed out of a strip club. Now, according to the strip club and their, report, there was nothing that happened inside. Like there was no altercations. But this kind of gives me a vibe, and when you read a little bit more, into this, that they were followed out of the strip club, and at some point, their cars became disabled. And it's not like they were, shot and the engine was damaged and it didn't run. The cars became disabled. Like this was intentional. Very, very, very weird situation here. But, Josh being a former Detroit Lion, obviously this is, some good news for us to, well, bad news, but good news for us to kind of review here because, dude was just playing ball for us for the last few years. Good friend of Jared Goff. Now 9 News published a story that the Broncos sent a statement to 9 News saying that Josh Reynolds was a victim of a shooting on Friday in Denver and received treatment for minor injuries. Out of respect for the legal process, they would, refrain from commenting any further.
Minor injuries?
It says minor, but that's all they're going to say, right? Yeah, for right now, getting shot in the back of the head is not minor, right?
Yeah, I don't care if it's a scratch from both. Any gunshot is not minor. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so it says the shooting injuries are not expected to extend Reynolds' stay on IR, at least from a physical standpoint. However, what he went through early Friday morning was a very traumatic experience from an emotional standpoint, I could imagine. But prior to the shooting, the victims reported that they were at Shotgun Willie's. What a place to be, huh? A strip club in Glendale, but left around 2:45 a.m. They reported this to the court documents that there were no problems in the club. When they left, this is where it gets weird. 2 drivers began following them in vehicles and shots were fired. They reported to the police that the suspects continued to follow them as they got onto the highway, at which point documents say that Reynolds' vehicle had 4 vehicles following them. Once there, they said that the vehicle would no longer drive and they ran from the vehicle. So I don't know if he was erratically driving. I don't know if he hit objects in the road. I don't know if the vehicle just quit running. Like maybe they put some sort of some sort of a device in the vehicle that shut it down, electronically.
Does that technology exist?
What's that?
Does that technology exist?
Oh yeah, police have that technology, and so does some, certain gangs and stuff like that. From what I've read from other stories, that kind of crap exists. But there's a lot of gangs out in Denver too, from what I understand, and some not so good ones. Not that any of them are good, but you know what I'm saying. So anyway, Reynolds shot twice, once in the back of the head, once in the back of the arm. One of his friends also came under gunfire, and another one of his friends apparently shot, reportedly from this story here by 9 News. Man, what is up with the shootings in the NFL this year? This is at least the third player that has been in a shooting this season. I believe it's the third one.
Yeah.
So hearts and prayers out to you there, Josh Reynolds, man. Hope you get better.